What's up, internet? We're doing a vlog while I do my stamping. Um, I saw a cyclist when I was dropping on a cycle tour pull off and go like this. He was standing there like that when he read it. I also saw this kid this morning go running home. I dropped it in front of him and drove away, and I had to come back because I forgot something. I don't really come back right away, so I don't get to see often. But he was running. Yeah, he was running home. The day I started dropping these, they shut the internet down. So I know that they know. I know. Like, I got them to stop chemtrailing. Chemtrails were ubiquitous for the longest time. I haven't seen one in years. And it's because I brought it up. I said the people who do that live in bunkers, they live in isolation. And I put $100 behind it. I bought an ad. And yeah, I haven't seen one since. So basically, the male war over women grew so toxic that the ruling class just betrayed everybody. Their religions are genital mutilation hoaxes. All the promises, like you're going to heaven with Jesus, and the threats, like you're going to hell, are lies. They want to circumcise you and make you a slave. They want you to see, they have gold and diamonds and they own the land. So it doesn't matter what you have. Your money's printed at your debt and taxed, and they give you none of it ever. The only thing they print it for is war. So the war wastes. Not only do the people who build the machines waste their time, do you want to build many ton vehicles over and over just to blow them up against each other? No. See, I realized this when I was looking at data about comparative like armor and munition strengths, and I was like, the Russians and the Americans are identical. Nobody has a more armored vehicle or a bigger munition size than each other. And it's because they don't want the fight to be too clear. They don't. We believed, the way the American public believe, is that their fighting force is superior. And I saw that reflected by a lot of different people everywhere. We had to go to Iraq to find a losing party versus us. Um, so definitely the secret government is behind the governments. So I don't know who they are. As somebody who was hurt by them when I was a baby, still hurt by them now, I don't owe them any loyalty. I don't feel like I have to do anything like their party ethic. They didn't include me, and the things they did with their power was naughty, and I didn't like it. Spam. So, yeah. I am in favor of, see this? It says money is printed at your debt and taxed. No one has ever invaded the gold empire. So both sides of every war were funded in history by gold, and nobody has ever gone underground into their tunnels to figure out what's there. To me, those two pieces of evidence are enough. It's clear the real ruling class like virgin girls, too. They talk around it in the Bible. They're like, how do I tell them to not touch each other and keep them virgins without deliberately spelling it out? Scary God. Scary God's how you do that. So, why is fornication illegal if all the animals eat each other? There's animal species who exist purely on predation. They don't have any source of energy beyond eating the bodies of others. Certainly that's a level 80 times as bad as fornication, right? So why would they exist at all? And why would it be our responsibility to suddenly shape up and do things different? So, yeah. The Bible is... See, synchronicity helps, because it's like, what's the Bible? It sounds like buy, purchase, bullshit. So purchase bullshit. The purchase bullshit. So, I always try to get the backside. I have two red ones, one about, the secret government, and then I have a gold and a green one for, the green one's positive. What can we do? Support, like, I say attack and destroy the secret government a lot. They're liars and they did horrible stuff. See, technically, I'm saying to attack people who claim to not exist, and I'm saying to attack people who do crimes against kids. They've done crimes in excess of damage way worse than bin Laden did. I think putting out an automatic hit on their bodies is legal and right. So, the crimes they've done is nothing compared to what any of us have done, besides maybe toward cows and chickens. Um, I support eggs and milk. I support new food. I honestly support objects and energy from nowhere. Um, but like eggs and milk, I think are fine. They were bred to do that for us. Changing it now, like the real secret government, if they have like harems of like bred, slave women, basically they should try to free them and give them choices because they were basically a servant and then breeding partner whenever they wanted it. Yeah, the rich live like you see how lavish those cathedrals are. That's for the slave oppression. The real government has it way better than that, and they're cruel too. They definitely enjoy hurting your bodies and living in pleasure. They will live in bliss while people are being tortured, no problem. So I'm deeply against the secret government. I am for starting a global war to figure out where they are. I am for not letting anyone leave until we do. It's that old line from uh, The Watchmen. I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with me. You know, turn it around. So, and we have the right to because of their crimes, the genital mutilation of children, the rape of our kids. Yeah, definitely that is beyond the other things they've done, like the economic lying and the wars. The money is printed at your debt and taxed. When they print money, they want you to pay it back with taxes. And they only print it for war, none for any ordinary people. So it's time to start a fight that they have to lose. I speak loudly because even if they block it, my neighbors hear me. You know, the internet didn't go down. I rarely see the internet go down. It went down the day I decided to put this out there. It went down. And when I caught it, it went back up. As soon as I was like, why is the internet down? I was doing stuff about it. Immediately went back up. They said it would take till 2 p.m. And it was like 11 that they turned it back on. So the reason they turned it off is they knew I was putting this out there. They knew people would see this and react. And they were like, stop it. What do you do when you're a guilty pedophile? Lie all over. So lying and being a conniving bastard worked the first time, and every time, may as well just do it again anyway. They're unlucky because I was chosen by divinity, literally, to know about them and attack them. I was told that I had never done that. That basically, you can do a worldwide sex crime to everybody, and you'll hit a few people who'd done it before, but most people had never done that before, and I'm one of those people. Like, to me, I don't want it unless it's given to me. You don't want it. I have to put you in a pen and manipulate you. It's not legit. It's not. I don't care if it makes sense with evolution. Evolution is like, what was the sexual selection? Who was reproduced? So evolution happens in our system. It definitely makes me question the existence of the soul a whole lot. Um, I think that your body being able to simulate reality totally is enough evidence that it could also dream too. So, yeah. The fact the chemtrails stopped when I accurately accused them, it is all the proof I needed that they were doing it to mess with us. And once they got caught, it's like, yeah, the secret enemy is bunker lords. Immediately, Russia did this special. It's like, these are the bunkers we have. Now, Putin's sus because he's got a big ass palace. If I saw you doing things like building palaces, if you were constantly like um, doing that type of work, I could imagine a small, nice home, but a home with a grand vaulted ceilings, wings, things made out of gold. What? Who owns you? Who traded you some loyalty for all that stuff? Because, like, the people who support God and get free money, they think, oh, wow, the creator of the universe had my back. No, 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 no. The people who control the money printer want everyone circumcised, and you became their loyalist. So, circumcision is a crime. There's people born who have genital anatomy that looks like circumcision's of a benefit, but that's an evolved creature. The original dick doesn't look like that. Honestly, the big girthy one, about the size of a baby, is probably the best time you'll ever have. And that's why they coveted it for themselves, is they like virgin girls, and they don't want men who are comparable to them. They're stressed out, the real government is stressed out by there being the existence of other guys. They hate it. Lie. Here's the Heavenly Father talking. You're the Son of Man. I'm the Son of God. You know. And like most delusional beat-off pieces, it doesn't make any sense. And it promises things that aren't true and threatens and stuff. So yeah. This, the government was so afraid of, they took the internet down. Said it was a local problem. And when I caught them, it went back up within like 5 minutes. So they're definitely on the back foot. They definitely know they lied to rob you all. And they have nothing to do but hope the people they hurt don't catch on. So what I'm doing is I'm telling everyone. I hope it does catch on, and I hope they take them down. I want revenge for the pain, and I want revenge for the wasted time. I wish my parents learned this before making me. That would have been horribly convenient, as if they had figured this out before they committed to, we'll just try this. Let's just go anyway, you know. So, oops. If it ever mismarks, sometimes I try to do it again. It is a stamp. So, and the good news is the way the light reflects. I've come back through and seen people photographing it. Hey, I just got given this. Look at this. That's why they block the internet, because they know they'll send it out. I put it on postcards and mail it. You know, I don't know when or how they'll choose to intercept a postcard, but they might. I haven't done registered mail yet. That would be interesting. Yeah, I'm for no law, but the AI should watch everything for history. I'm for holographic money. It does a basic income. Basically, you print, with holographic money, you'll print the least amount of money you've ever printed. And it'll be more valuable than it's ever been because it has your life on it. And there's no tax. So the new tax system is the spot auction. Their whole idea that people won't do hard things for money if there's money laying around everywhere. If everyone has $1 trillion, it will cost $1 trillion to get anything done, which is a fair argument. I can see that. So it has a limited print, 333 a day for everybody, 666 for the government. The government, the only way to get more of your life on the money is you have to do the government. So, and it's going to be like Anbu. You can wear like robes and masks and stuff, call it the Devil's Crew. And the idea is that you do hard things because life is hard. So dealing with actual crime and terrorists. A terrorist, like the people who circumcise, are clearly terrorists. They lie about hell and they attack baby genitals to change behavior. They are the terrorists. They use terror as their primary weapon. And making you afraid of people who make people afraid is just an extra level of, you know, just spun him around and slapped him, you know. Now he can't tell which way is forward or up, you know. So I'm definitely against their existence. Like they have the right to quit like they got caught, and the only reason I'm giving them that is nature's trash. Like nature is a carnival of blood, and so they did something similar. They can act like their new generation because they were just given it. You know, the people who are running the real government now are like the descendants of the old government. So I'm fine if they wise up and they hear it and they go, we need to stop. I would actually hear some sort of reconciliation. In my terms of that is they have to tell us who they really are. They have to show us where they really are and what they really have. and they have to more or less drop that to join us in like a new future. Um, any amount of let's just lie and hide again, let's just say we're done and not be done, yeah, that's a war. We have to start a war to find them and stop them. So yeah, the problem is that whole like sex thing. People come from biological reproduction, and so that pathway benefits people who over idealize it. You know how the religions say, "Oh, you're a sinner about sex. Admit you're a sinner." That's who wrote it. It's an artifice. It's made up. So they are the sinners. They are sinning. Definitely skinning baby willies is sin. I can't think of a worse treachery toward your people, a type of torture. Like, there's many levels to it that are just derogatory, awful. Watching circumcision videos and hearing people laughing at crying babies, that's what they do and now they do that with trans. When they change a kid's gender completely from one to the other, they tell them to laugh it off. You just knifed the most sensitive feeling organ in their body and you want them to ha 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 ha. No, it's gonna cost them. It's gonna cost them dismantling. So the good news is they went ahead. They were so greedy. They went ahead and circumcised all the police and military. You know, I showered in military showers. I've seen what everyone has. Doesn't matter how big it is. There's a few people who aren't circumcised, like 4%. I've seen a couple people who look like circumcision is normal. It just like doesn't hang right on them. But the truth is that the actual dick is marvelous, and that extra skin did something, you know, and uh, the push to knife it was done for the real government. It wasn't done to prevent a disease. They made the disease. A lot of these weird diseases, from the frozen people disease to the people born without limbs, in my opinion, is the government tampering. Like, what happens if we try to make them smaller? Well, now they don't have limbs. You know, I saw Rachel Rising starve herself to death. That was sad. Everyone tried to talk. She was cute when she was in high school, but by the time she always had that Bible. She would show up, and she had one of those accounts where she wasn't famous. She had paid. If you're that vain, you would starve yourself. You would definitely be vain enough to pretend to be social media influencer, like paying the publisher. They will make your numbers look famous for some cash. You'll have no results and no likes or anything or comments, but I know they just block it because, like, I will watch my own stuff and it won't have a result. You know, on my TikTok account, I have 7 likes numerically. 7 people have liked my videos 7 times on one of these side accounts. The total tally, though, is 1. You know, if I had paid them, the total tally would have been 14,000, 100,000, however much I paid them in relationship to that. You know, it's very clear that how good you do depends on how much you gave them. So, I'm not satisfied with that internet system. I think that internet system is dogged, and they are definitely the ones who protect the real government. They definitely have no interest in us having nice lives. We all turned against each other and hate who they are. That's one of the things about, like, don't be suicidal. Why? There's people out there who want that. There's people out there who look at you and you may not believe it, but they hope you do it. And they hope your life sucks. You know? So. And don't smile either because it ruins your face. One of the reasons I look as young as I look is I don't smile. Because I knew from. A lot of people don't know. They get circumcised and they go, that was it. We had to do that. Now you're my friend? No. Everything they told you was wrong, hurtful. Don't have their products. Don't try drinking a case of diet soda. Tell me how you feel before and after. Don't have any for like a month and then have some. Do they really care about you? Or do they care what you do? They care what you do. Don't touch their stuff. You better not be liking women I like. You'll get knifed and lied to. You can go to heaven. Not. They're such brazen liars. They even tell you in the Bible most people aren't going to heaven. They can't even let you think it because you might accidentally get it, which would be a disaster to them. So, You can ask the natives, are the white people trustable? Did the people coming with law and justice do anything like law and justice, or is it just ice and I'm the law? Yeah, B. So, thanks for not blocking my videos whenever you don't. See, you can't really do things like censor me because all you do is you make me angrier. So, yeah, each one of these stacks I have is, what's 10,000? 1,000? Or whatever it is. 100 individual hundreds. So divided, no, it's 100. 100's a big stack. I used to do more math, but I don't care about it now. I care more about, like, you see how nature is? Anything can happen and it's infinitely vast. There's like centillions of stars. Um, that is such a huge universe. They made, like, when they lied and said we're the only thing there is and that's a firmament, they might be lying too about how big it is. It might be slightly less big than they say. Um, I definitely, like, I don't look at microscope stuff at all. I trust them a lot for what microbiology is. Um, it might be that, yeah, just like we have bodies and we're in a plane, they have bodies and they're in a plane, and there's many different planes of just continuous existence. And do you really think the creator intricately knows everything that's going on? Or is it a lot of fire and forget? If the Bible was real, it would pop out of thin air and read itself. Yeah, the Creator makes objects from nothing and uses words. The idea that there's an official copy given through redress to one group of people who have fastidiously copied it for us exactly as it was meant to be said is a hoax. It's monkey business. Um, yeah, if it was real, it would pop out of thin air, and a voice from the sky would read it for you, which would be cool. An up-to-date manual. Here, I saw what you did yesterday, so here's a brand new book all about the things you need to know. That would be awesome and different. That would be knowing. That would say things like, yeah, that would be awesome. But it does not happen that way. It noticeably never happens that way. Yeah, I'm planning on releasing. I'm gonna get another stamp with the webpage when I have my holographic money book finished being written. Um, it basically shares how to do future tech. It shares holographic money. Um, yeah, I'm writing a free book that I'm gonna give people the. If I could get a QR code in a stamp, if I could get a stamp for a QR code, that would be awesome. But I don't know, like, you would have to be really accurate with the stamp. Probably some QR code stickers, and which would be cool. Have a sticker for passerbys. I also appreciate my apartment has not asked me to take the flyer thing down outside. Yeah, the front basket with information about the secret government. No complaints from apartment HQ at all about that thing existing. Um, my last place was the woman. I don't know if she's actually born female. I have no idea. Um, was a circumciser. She was a child of God, and you had to correct those boys with a knife. We were told specifically. You know, we've seen in history that I was told and it was just following orders is not a moral let off, except when the people who want you to just do as you're told and follow orders are still running things. So, they encourage fights between nations so that they can watch the brutal conflict. You know, the first time the underworld told, let's say you dig out under two major cities and you have a secret party palace underground, um, you would easily be able to send your ultra rich, hi, these are people who have not been poisoned, they've been given the opposite, things that make them seem more powerful. You would take your high servitors and you would ask them to, you would basically give the king a ransom of gold and some promises for sending the boys off to die against each other. And while the boys are off killing each other, Bill Clinton did it to me. When I went to Iraq, they extended my service and invited my sister to Bill Clinton's thing. That's a fact. Now, I do believe the Bill Clinton being painted as a woman because he's a Christian. I think that the on the surface ruling class have been copycats for the real government, but they're not the real government. They don't have the bodies that look like them, and they don't have the... Now, they fit in by, like, supporting their policies. Like, oh, yeah, I'm faithful. Let's just be, like... When you do their social conduct of, like, listening and smiling, you make yourself marked as one of their fools. Somebody who is subjugated. So, it's pretty easy to... I love doing this at this point. This is pretty fun. I hope this pans out in our favor. Like, yeah, my advice for the secret government is quit like you got caught. Quit like you have to change. Take some interest in telling us about who you are and what you've done. And then we might let it go if you, like, truly well and done stop. I'll let you keep anyone who's, like, bred to be your servants. Like, these women through generations were made to be your servile slaves. You're not going to be able to convince those women to go or be something else. So I'd let you keep anyone who wanted to stay with you. But, like, preying on us, circumcising us, torturing us, that has to stop. You can have anyone who wants to hang out with you, but no more. We get first access to all the virgin girls on earth, which is what that was. The religious stinks and the laws currently today are about prime access to virgin girls. It is. It's just that. And it's a ton of lying and torture all over that, from the modest, humble faces to the types of laws, to what the laws command and how the laws are, and, like, the private property and no trespassing. You know, when the Bible says, pluck out my eye, and it wants you to do that, what they're saying is they're going to remove your ability to remote view through some sort of chemical alteration. Because they know that you have the ability to dream of them because they exist, and they want you so confused and ready to go to hell. So, it's sad. You are the descendants of the people who did not say no. You are the descendants of the people who said, yeah, that sounds nice. That sounds like the time I want to have. So, it's horrible. I encourage you to listen to the screams of circumcised children. It's not normal crying. Babies cry. No, not like that. That's torture. They have rated on the pain scale being skinned alive is the worst experience you can have. It's worse than being burned. So why do it to baby genitals? It kind of makes sense in evolution that since you only come from that, they are, like, duplicitous and dogged about only that. But that's who thought to do the circumcision. It wasn't the creator fixing something. They would just make different people. It was men taking out men. So that's why I call them pedophiles. An adult considers a baby boy his sexual rival. An adult looks at a baby boy and goes, don't you dare. Why? Because that's my stuff. Yeesh. And they like little girls because they're still virgins. They get little girls when they're, like, between 1 and 3 years old, looking at the parents, looking at their traits, to know if they even want them. And then they go to basically slave academy, learn how to be a sex slave. You know, when I went to the Getty Museum, they had later revealed there were, like, women under the Getty in a bunker. They found millions of girls shoulder to shoulder under the Getty in a bunker, bred like chickens. And that was basically for, like, private sex parties. And that this is what the elite has always done, is that the real government, the Gold Empire, has been doing this for thousands of years. And that we're a type of class of citizen that is not free. That the stories of freedom from the past were all lies. They were completely not true. So, I threaten them because I look semi-attractive and I know who they are. There's no way they're going to show real people this. If they do, if we're lucky, the people who control the internet flow are us. They're people who are harmed by it, and they will tell people on the sly. They will let them know what I've said and shared. It definitely is. Am I the only circumcised person on earth who thinks this stuff? No way. But it looks like it online. Online, it's pure positivity. What battery works with two positive ends? It makes no sense. Positivity would be that you eat a fruit and you poop a fruit. No, you don't. You eat a fruit and you poop poop. So, this is poop. This is poop time. How'd it really feel? So, does it feel nice to live and die? It's awful. It's a terrible experience. So, yeah. I'm lucky I didn't do this to my own kids. I did not have kids, and I don't have anyone today who is circumcised looking at me going, you know what I mean? Thanks to my mom for my green eyes. My dad had blue eyes, my mom had green eyes. I have, like, in my opinion, the best eye color on earth. I knew black people in the military. Black people are not jealous of white people. Black people like being black. They like who they are. They like how they look. They're not like, oh, I wish I had blue eyes. Maybe some of them, but most of them, no. They're like, they love who they are. So, but they also helped me like myself. They could tell I had issues, like fully liking myself because I was afraid of jealousy, and they're like, don't. You can like what you like. It's not wrong. So yeah, but that whole experience that they wanted was to be the best man, because then she has to like him, to feel better than us, because then they manifest a better future, and to have first access to like virgins all the time. You know, like you eat a chicken. If someone has more, let's say you eat 4 chicken wings, you're gonna have 12 chicken wings in a row. That's a bunch of dead chickens. That's a number of dead chickens just for your one meal. So they do the same thing with like sex parties. They have no problem having, there's a room full of teenagers who have dubious destinies. They might just be choked for fun, and it's a problem for a society. It's no place to live. It has to change. It has to change massively. So anyway, thanks for listening. This is my stamping vlog. This is, in the whole time I was going, this is my money, this is how much I did. And then I have bands back there. Yup. I drive through and I see people taking photos of them. I've seen people going to go like this after reading them. And it's the reaction I want. I want people to get so shocked they do something new. Don't wait for the media to tell you what the next fight is. They have no idea and don't care. And don't wait for the people who liberated you, or the people who gave you religion, or the people who educated you, or anything. Don't wait for any of them to tell you to do this. They won't. They probably have instructions to look the other way and stop it. So I'm doing a local thing, driving around and giving it to people in their faces, where they can't say, I can't see it. What? That's what they do online. Like, I spent a year saying the Bible's a genital mutilation hoax. Not one person replied in over a year. So it looked like I said it. Did I really say it to people who could read it? Probably not. Probably whoever controls that was like, stop him. If you're actually guilty of raping everybody, are you going to let them find out? That's why I have to do extraordinary measures to get it out there. I don't have a choice. I wish I'd done this sooner. I wish my parents had done this before making me. I would have gladly taken non-existence over the existence I had, no offense. Although this recently has been more meaning than I normally have, inventing it. It was true, I got lucky with my astrology. Here's my astrology. My fire and my sun and my moon were over Bali when I was born. So I think it's interesting. I've always had a plan on moving to Bali at some point. Retirement, maybe. I'd be an interesting Baliian. They don't give long-term visas normally. Expats, they call them. Uh, yeah, the country system's a hoax. Holographic money would liberate everything. Holographic money is a great design. I made it as a fix, as our fix, FUBU for us. Um, and I hope people like NVIDIA and other, you know, who is the real secret government? What's their nationality? Where do they live under? Are they the real full underground? Are they under a country? I really don't know. And if you know what you're guilty of, you would put off false evidence, like forced us to learn about female foot wrapping in Asia. Like, because that would mean that they look pedo-y, but that could just be like propaganda against them. They could have forced them to do that so they looked that way, right? Could be in Latin America, could be under the ocean. I doubt it's aliens. Either the aliens get circumcised themselves, or the aliens eat us. Yeah, is that we're food. It's like why are like uber skinny women attractive? It's because they won't get abducted. Being too thin actually protects you from sexual predators. You can't care for a baby, and literal cannibals. They nothing to eat. So it's like that white people with skin diseases is another example are hot because nobody wants to wear their skin. Seems gross, but it's a survival. It'll help you survive. You don't want partners that are going to disappear. You want partners that are going to stick around. So, not that I have any partners. See, I can't tell if like Katy Perry and Sophie Powers really liked me and really went out of their way to meet me, or if their handlers, whoever provides for them, instructed them to. Um, and I've also been open about sharing my shames like I don't care, mainly to intimidate them. Yeah, I realized they were cowards because if you would go after baby dicks to score little girlfriends, you're a POS. You're not even worth fearing. You're like really, really a shrieking shrew, just a nobody. I don't have it anymore, but I remember waking up as a teenager with this odious feeling like I have to go get my princess so she's mine and give that to like the richest of the rich. Then you have things like God says you have to get circumcised. You're going to heaven one day. See, when your body dies, the reason for you to exist is gone. The reason you are has been destroyed. And so telling you have a soul to steal your body's time was the basic trick. How is enlightenment the basic nature, but you have to tell us about it? It makes no sense. So anyway, thanks for watching. This is another speech. Uh, Stamping money vlog. That's what I'll call it. I've stamped real money before. Like, usually I would get 100 ones and do it. But I just figured it was so much more economical to get 1,000 fake $100 bills for $30. I was like, that's something I can sustain a lot longer. And it looks like 100, I might get lucky. That's the problem with these. No, it's not your fault. But there's nobody who won't drop what they're doing and run over to see if that $100 bill's real. And I can passionately tell you why you're in that problem on the money. So, you, the only people who I ever saw mad were like immigrants who can't speak English. They're like, literally, I saw him because I dropped them. I don't hand them to them. I dropped them on the floor. The immigrant came back and looked at me and went threw it on the ground. And I was like, oh, you can't read what I stamped on it. That's why you're mad. My bad. Wait, if I would love to get some localized stamping, España, but no, it's English for now. So I'm encouraging the leadership of America. I don't think the countries are real. I think they're deliberate, confusing slave hoaxes that have no merit and don't need recognition. But if you're in the police or military or government and you want to do something, take holographic money globally and appeal to the male genital mutilation victims globally to get it together to look for the secret government globally and then extricate yourselves. Centralized mining has to give up their vaulted door privacy policy. We need to know what's behind every hidden wall. We need to know what's behind every little bunker. Where is Super Pedo Island Bunker World? It's not me. You know, if you've been circumcised or go to a grocery store, it's probably not you. So I know from being in army showers, they're all circumcised. So it means they cut the military? The people who really run Earth cut the military and the police? Sounds like you have an army. Sounds like you have the army. The only fighting force on Earth is actually on your side. What you have to worry about is like secret sabotage, uh, like people who use like, let's say they decreased our resilience, decreased our anti-suffering, and increased like our survivalness portions of the brain, and then made themselves seem more dominant. You would basically have to resist. It's basically like a mega mind. You would have to resist like a psychic. Yeah, it would be somebody who has like a psychic aura or other powers we don't even know about. So which is kind of scary, but you can listen to Diablo. Diablo 2, they're like it's about pedophiles. It's about a secret race of superhumans who live underground. So, yeah. That's what Gears of War was about. Marcus Aurelius complained about pedophiles and they killed his kids. Yeah, I chose to do this early from Rusty Mills, Pinky and the Brain. He put me on it. Um, my dad put me on it. My dad was famous for the tomahawk, and he always used to say, I know where I am. He's on the public patents. It's not really secret that he did that. At least he had a trophy for it. Who knows if he went to the trophy makers and made it up. But I haven't researched the authenticity of them. I just believe them more or less. Um, the tomahawk was famous for I know where I am based on where I'm not. You know, there's been a few people in history, Brandon Sanderson, probably George R. R. Martin, Elden Ring, and Lies of P. Both came out at the same time. You know, when Pinocchio lies more, his nose gets bigger. Yeah. The truth is the baby hole is huge, and having a large pecker provides a better sexual experience, both for like dominance and for like um, just connection. Nobody wants a tiny ruined dick that you can just you know have a bad connection with her. You're not even allowed to look her in the eyes or whatever. That's horrible. Who wants to reproduce there? That's where you have like hurt families. Families of circumcision are hurt. They have bad connections. Their primary connections around following the law. I found out that automatic obedience to words is not required by the creator of the universe, and the people who push it are liars. So, remember, the animals all eat each other, and most of these things use some sort of trap or trick to work. I care out of like a legit sensibility for I wish I had a nice life. Why don't I? Who do I live with that could have caused a problem? Well, it looked like gold was sponsoring every war in history. Gold has infinite territory underground. You know, unless you really know where the secret chamber is, you'd have no idea. So, and when the UN goes, the world's not run by pedophiles. You know how they checked? They looked at each other and went, "They're crazy. I've never heard that." You know how many like horrible looking, no offense, old men think they are secretly the winners? No, I'm the cool guy. Yeah, no, everyone likes me. Dude, you're delusional. So, yeah. You got old and look ugly. No offense. Because that's who the real government wants to live with. They don't want to live with people who are hotter than them. So, yeah, yikes. I hope we figure it out for the future. We definitely deserve a better life than that. And I hope the people who hear this choose to do radical new actions toward changing their world. No waiting for the educators, no waiting for the religions. They won't tell you to do meaningful things for your lives. They're going to tell you to do meaningful things for their lives. All right? We have to figure out where the secret government is and who they are, and we have to stop them no matter what.